Oh, did you change the thing?
Yes.
In YouTube, though?
Yes.
It hasn't shown up on mine, but okay, I'll just reload. You need to change the video resolution?
That's what it says.
There you go. We're live. Chris is already saying, hey!
And Dick Laxo.
So... Oh, we're live? Yeah?
We are?
I think so. It just went red
yes.
and... I'm confused.
It seems like we're live. Yes, it says we are live, but we are broadcasting in an unsupported resolution.
That doesn't make sense.
Love, whatever makes sense.
Point. When it comes to these streams, nothing ever.
Yeah, just remember, you are now an immortal wolf with the power of creation.
Yeah. By the way, is my fur still slightly glowing? Yeah.
Slightly shimmering, yes. Why?
Okay, just curious. Just curious.
You're adorable.
What? How Celestia and Luna did not realize that, I do not know.
Maybe script told them.
Come join us for a new...
Hello, every pony.
Hello!
Once again, it is VisualPony.
And Midnight 29.
So I'll never understand the 29.
Yes, you do. You know exactly why. Because Midnight was already taken on YouTube.
You're adorbs.
That I am.
And AJ has joined us.
Hello!
Mm-hmm.
That's alright.
So. Yep. See, Chris understands me. What fun is there in making sense?
This is why you and Discord would make friends.
Hey,
There is some sense to logic.
He is my butler.
Point. He's Visual's butler. Script's butler, not yours.
Same difference.
Eh.
Anyhow, everyone. Will you do the honor of the recap?
Sure. Basically, Lupina got attacked by Celestia and Luna, so she sent back a note to Midnight. Midnight went there, talked to Luna and Celestia, furious at them, managed to get a ceasefire for a day, I think, and a half or something. Then teleported back to Script, where to Canterlot, grabbed him. He chewed Luna and Celestia out loudly, and now they're back at Lupina's castle, and while Lupina does relief efforts, Midnight and Lily are going off to try and write a treaty, which basically says, get out of my kingdom now.
Yeah, that's basically what's happening. The characters present are Midnight, Script, Lily, and Morphus, who at one point made the joke and transformed into Twilight.
Yeah.
Who Script then informed our dear Midnight would not be coming for a visit for a long time because she was dimension hopping and should be 5 dimensions south and 3 to the right.
How on earth do you remember that specific? I mean, your memory is astounding.
Well, you know my memory can be tricky.
It's too good. Far too good.
Hey, I even still remember our first conversation.
Which is scary. Because I can't even remember it. I have to go back in the chat logs to remember it. Which I can't do anymore.
Yeah, right. I wiped that computer.
Mm-hmm.
And just like one of my favorite YouTubers named Markiplier, I'm doing these streams without my pants.
I'm not. Anyway. Shall we get started, my love?
I don't see why not. And I can do my workout routine while we do.
Okay, then.
Okay. So, you, Lily, Script, and Morphus are in a corner of the throne room. Lupina still doing relief efforts, or giving orders for relief efforts. And Script and Morphus inform you that they will go off into the city and see if there's any ways they can help.
Midnight thinks for a second. Won't they try to eat you, Script?
Don't worry. Been there, done that.
Yeah, don't you remember what happened last time we became an eternal meal?
You forget one thing. This time, I have backup. Morphus
Looks at
Morphus grins at you.
Looks at Morphus.
Wiggling his eyebrows.
No offense, but I have a feeling you're in more danger with him.
Ah, come on, Midnight. This could be fun.
Whatever. Alright, just stay out of trouble, please. I don't want to have to save your asses, too.
Where is the fun in staying out of trouble?
Okay, then. Whatever.
And
Turns back to Lily.
And they walk off.
So, where can we write this? Very, very quickly and roughly. We can figure out the big details later.
Well, I guess we could just go into the dining room next door.
That works.
She leads you to the dining room. With a luxurious big table that you remember from your last visit in the castle. However, there is debris laying everywhere now.
Midnight frowns a little, then waves her paw and the debris disappears.
Okay, so the room is immaculate again. Seriously, Angel would so love to have that power back.
Yeah, no, she's not getting it back. Or he. Actually, that's a good question. I'll ask that later.
He is a he.
You sure?
In my headcanon, he is.
Okay, fair. Midnight sits down at the table and teleports a piece of paper in front of her with a pen.
Lily walks up next to you, sitting down on one of the cushions on the floor. So,
Okay.
where should we start?
Well, how about the big thing that Lupina wants? All pony invasion force out of her land.
Well, for a treaty like this, I assume you would have to phrase it a little bit differently.
I'm trying to make sure that ponies and wolves are still able to interact, which is the problem. But looks at Lily. Actually, maybe you should write this, because I don't actually know legal talk.
She frowns at you a little bit, raising an eyebrow. Okay, then. She snatches a pen out of your paw and pulls over the piece of paper. And she starts writing. And the only sounds in the room are her murmuring in a language that you don't quite understand, and the scratching of the pen.
Mind translating?
Sorry. What I'm basically writing down is that with this agreement, no pony military personnel is allowed within the borders of this sovereign nation.
That works, yeah.
And that in exchange, our forces will not leave the borders of our state.
Ooh, good, good. That pretty much eliminates the army problem.
I also am adding a little phrase that concludes that violation of any of these terms should forfeit the ownership of the violating party's country to the one who is damaged in its process.
You think that would work?
She looks at you, then points a paw at her face. I've got a third degree magister in justice theory.
Fair enough. I'll defer to you in this respect. The last one pretty much didn't have any threats, other than we will go to war.
Oh, believe me, I could make this much, much worse.
Let's make sure that all parties would agree to it first.
You know, there's one little tiny spell that your kind can do.
What's that?
You can put a curse on a contract like this.
First off, I don't think that would affect Lupina.
Believe me, it would.
Okay, and second off,
She signed one of those before.
With who?
Script, Morphus, Elysium. Yeah, basically those.
Wait, what was the agreement?
She waves a paw and a very old-looking, pure ruby chest, a chest carved out of a gigantic ruby, appears on the desk. Take a look inside.
Opens the box.
And inside, first of all, when you open it, a cloud of dust immediately billows out at you.
Mm.
And in the inside, you find a scroll. Sealed with the seal of the 5.
Whoa.
This, you might say, is the first contract ever signed.
I don't think I'm meant to open this.
Don't worry, I played with that box when I was small.
And you opened the contract?
Several times.
Okay.
She points at a few bite marks at the edge of the contract.
You remind me of Chase.
Who?
My son.
She stops writing for a second and looks at you, questioningly.
I adopted a Scrox as a son. That doesn't even look at her.
Wait, you adopted a Scrox?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Frowns. Looking round at her. What?
Mind to tell me how, quote-unquote, old he is now?
In his 20s? Why?
Oh dear. She looks over her shoulder for a second to make sure that no one else is listening. You know, just so you know, Scrox start their puberty at around 35. And their drive for reproduction is unsatiable for about 2 years.
Noted. I might have to find a solution for that then.
Yes, you might want that, because when I mean drive for reproduction, I don't mean several instances. I mean one long instance.
I kind of grasp that. Maybe I'll just leave him with you to play with.
Please don't.
Calm down. Calm down. I'm not that cruel.
I would hope so.
Takes the scroll in my paw and opens it to take a look.
On it, you see, in very elaborate writing, a language that you don't understand.
Turns to sort of sigh at Lily. Translation?
Just look at it for a second. And she keeps writing.
Turns back to the scroll, looking at it.
And before your eyes, the symbols rearrange to Equish.
What the?
And the text reads, "We, the 4 protectors of Aquas, hereby agree to not use our powers to harm mortals in any way. Should any of us break the contract that we hereby sign, that member of our group shall lose their powers forever, and his or her powers will be divided among the rest of us. They will become mortal and then live out the rest of their existence without any power or connections to our cause." And below it, you see a hoof print that you recognize as scripts, a hoof print that must be Elysium's, a thing that looks like the mixture of a paw and a hoof that you assume to be Morphus, and a bloody paw print.
Midnight rolls the scroll back up, puts it back in the box, thinking for a second. Wait, I never signed this, nor did the 5th, so this doesn't apply to me.
No, it does not to you. You are actually able to harm mortals with your power if you wish.
And does Luna and Celestia count as mortals?
No.
Okay. That explains why your mother nearly pounced on them earlier.
Believe me, had you not been there, she very likely would have. And the likelihood of them getting away alive this time is very low.
Agreed. Walks back over and looks at the page again. So what else have you added here?
Oh, well, nothing serious, really. Just maybe a few reparation payments, and while I was at it, I drafted out a little bit of a trade agreement.
Midnight blinks. Wow, okay. Is it equal for both sides, that trade agreement?
She reads it over. Actually, yes. Well, slightly in advantage of Equestria, to be honest.
That's good. Although, I'm sure trade will probably be slow. It won't be...
To be fair,
there
isn't much that we can offer the ponies, but there's a lot that we need.
True.
And so,
do you think...
in this trade agreement, I wrote down that we will trade our superior technology for natural resources and gems.
Huh. And what about food?
That really isn't a problem.
I know, but the ponies will need some reassurance that, well, you guys aren't going to go hunting them.
She points at a section of the, by now, 11 pages long agreement that reads, Section 5, Paragraph 4. The Lupine Empire hereby agrees not to send hunting parties into Equestria or to try and abduct and subdue ponies for food.
Midnight smiles. Okay. That should at least somewhat reassure them. But what's to stop them from tearing up this contract as well?
Lily frowns. Nothing, basically. Not as long as they haven't signed it.
That didn't stop the last one either.
She points at another section of the contract, which reads, Section 10, Paragraph 1. Should one of the signing parties violate the treaty, ownership of the violating party's country immediately is transferred to the damaged party. This includes all state funds, control of the military, economy, and citizens.
Midnight suddenly chuckles a bit. Can you really imagine your mother ruling over the ponies?
She just shrugs. I don't think she even would want to. But Script has done so before.
Do you think she'd ask Script to rule over them for a while?
Nah. Maybe just give it to Chrissy.
No!
She chuckles.
No offense, but I don't like Chrissy at all.
Neither do I, really. I was just joking.
Phew. Yeah, okay. No. Midnight shakes her head. That would not be good. But fair enough. Okay. Then I guess the next best thing is to get them in a room again. See if they'll sign this. Can you think of anything we need to add?
She skims the 11 pages very quickly.
I don't think so, actually. Do you?
I don't think so. We've got something to confirm that you guys won't go hunting ponies. We've got something that which means they'll repay for the damage they've caused, and we've got something that will continue the relations. I think that's it. I feel like though the ponies might need some more security, but we can at least show them.
As you are still talking about this, you suddenly feel very, very weak. And you notice that your fur loses its shine.
Midnight grimaces. What's going on?
And Lily is kind of stumbling a little as well.
What the hell?
No idea.
Lily squints her eyes a little bit. Hello?
Also, we're not live anymore. Oh, we are live. Never mind.
Stream
What happened there?
resumed. I don't know. Actually, don't know.
The last thing I heard was she squinted.
She squints and then frowns at you.
What is it?
I can't use my magic.
Looks down at my fur. I'm not glowing anymore.
Something's wrong here.
We need
Very wrong.
Midnight grabs the contract and tries to walk out of the room. Come on, we need to figure out what's going on.
And while you walk, it feels basically as if you're walking on a ship that's moving from side to side.
Ugh.
You're dizzy and slightly nauseous.
Midnight struggles to push through the door.
You open it. And in the throne room, you see Lupina like trying to crawl away from her throne. And all of her advisors that she had been talking with before passed out in front of her.
Lupina, what the hell's going on?
I don't know. Suddenly, all my power seems to be gone.
Same here. Same with Lily. We need to get outside, see what's going on. Tries to head towards the door.
You go. I'll be right after you once I can get to my pass.
Midnight barely nods and pushes the door.
And you find yourself on the throne room's balcony.
Looks over the balcony.
You see that the entire canyon is covered by what looks like a rainbow-colored force field.
What the hell?
And that it seems to originate from a group of unicorn magi that are located all around the canyon.
I am going to stuff Celestia and Luna.
These, however, are not normal ponies.
Huh?
You see that they are crystal ponies.
Cadence?
Seems like it.
Wait, what's Cadence' relation in this thing?
She was neutral.
No, I mean relation to, like, Celestia and Luna. And is she actually Celestia's cousin? Or niece?
Niece.
Okay. Midnight looks around. Weakly calling out to Script.
No reply. But you get the feeling that this force field has something to do with you losing your power.
Midnight grimaces and walks back inside, looking at Lupina. It's crystal ponies. They're putting up a rainbow force field. I have a feeling that's something to do with our sudden magic loss.
Lupina struggles to her paws, shaking herself a little. That explains things.
I'll be honest, I completely forgot about the pretty princess.
Lupina chuckles a little. Do you want to hear a fun, if maybe morbid fact?
What's that?
What you know as the Crystal Empire today, it used to be my summer house.
Okay, I must have said, did you build it?
She nods.
And the crystal heart was yours?
It was a weekend project.
You know it's powered by love, right?
So?
I am impressed. I am very impressed.
You must understand one thing, Midnight. I do love my subjects.
I know. It's just not something I expected that Pony and Wolves would both be able to use.
She chuckled slightly. Love is universal.
Then let's see if we can convince them that that's true. We need to get out of here. I've got a contract, and if they keep going like this, I'm going to make sure something else happens with it.
She kind of frowns at you, raising an eyebrow curiously.
I know about that contract you and the others made.
Yeah. At times like this, I wish I had not signed it.
Perhaps. But it might be just the deal these guys will be willing to take.
she points at the statue at the far end of the room. We can get out this way.
All right. Come on. Needed a hand? Or hoof? Or paw?
She pulls herself up to her full height. I do not think so.
Hey. Can't blame a wolf for trying.
As you two approach the statue, you see Lily standing in the door of the dining room, waving a paw at you.
Waving goodbye or waving as in come over?
Trying to get your attention, waving.
Oh. Walks over. What is it?
You two go. I think I have to research this whole situation a little bit more in the library.
Do what you can, but don't push yourself too much.
Oh, don't worry. I can only walk at a snail's pace at this point.
Hesitates a little, but then nuzzles Lily. Stay safe.
She kind of goes a little bit stiff as you nuzzle her.
Midnight shrugs slightly. Sorry. Brought up a little bit more affectionately.
It's fine. I'm just not used to it.
Hey, with me as a friend, you better get used to it. Especially if you ever meet my family.
No. Being nuzzled by myself.
Oh. Yeah, that would be weird. Fair enough. Good luck.
And she turns around and walks out of sight.
Midnight walks back to Lupina and asks, "Ready?"
Yes. And she turns to the statue that is depicting a very huge, very muscular male wolf who's standing on his hind legs, holding a sword in each paw and one in his muzzle. And then she pulls on one of the swords, which bends as if it is made out of rubber.
Seriously, you wolves are elaborate.
Thank you. And the statue just moves aside a little bit, revealing a hallway behind it. And Lupina disappears into the darkness.
Walks right behind her, making sure not to lose track of her.
This is, you might say, a little bit of a getaway that I built when making this castle.
Don't you mean when I built this castle?
You just transported the ruins here and rebuilt them.
Just teasing. Need some lightheartedness.
Oh, you have no idea. Have you any idea why I built it?
For in case of situations like this?
Actually, I built it if I would be under siege by my own advisors.
You love your people, but you also fear them?
With under siege, I mean more like they coming to me with requests, unrelentingly at any time of day.
Oh. So basically like children just asking and asking and asking and asking and asking.
Exactly.
I'm so gonna need a getaway from myself then.
You reach a fork in the hallway and she takes a left.
Follows.
from this hallway you can actually get almost anywhere in this castle.
Huh. Is the one leading out of the dining room here?
You reach a complete crossroads with one road in front of you, one to the right and one to the left. And Lupina points to the right. If you would want to go to the dining room, this would be the way.
Huh. How did you memorize all this? I have a terrible memory.
Lupina taps one of her paws on the ground, and you see different colored paw prints appear on the ground. Every location has a color.
That is cool. How did Lily get lost here?
Don't tell her, but I never told her the trick was a pass.
Midnight gasps at her. What? Why wouldn't you tell your daughter who always gets lost? Not the trick.
She shrugs. It's way too fun.
Your secret is safe with me.
She chuckles and keeps moving to the through the corridor in front of you.
Keeps following. So you can see the colors, or is it only when you tap?
I can see them constantly. When I tap them, then a little bit of inherent magic in the stones will activate the pathways.
Cool.
It's, well, one of those spells that you invent just out of boredom.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'll be doing that a lot.
You should have seen some of my earlier works, though. Real art.
Show me sometime.
She looks over her shoulder at you and shows her fangs. I don't really think you would like to see me eviscerate a griffin with just a wave of my paw.
Depends on the griffin. Or could just have Morphus transform into one.
Who do you think I eviscerated last time?
That works. Oh yeah, because you're not allowed to hurt mortals, so that would make sense.
You know, I do not really want to die permanently, so no, I'm not hurting mortals. If I can help it. But, and she takes another right as you come to a crossing in the road.
Keeps following.
But there are ways to use loopholes, you might say.
Indirectly killing.
Exactly.
So how many assassins have you sent after mortals?
She kind of stops and turns around to you, her eyes looking a little bit angered. None.
Sorry, that just seemed the next logical step.
That would be dishonorable. No, the ones I killed myself.
How?
The treaty forbids me from using any of my powers. But I'm still a ferocious fighter.
You're still a wolf. Gotcha.
And she turns around again and keeps walking, kind of huffing a little.
Sorry. I think Script might have mentioned that I'm not exactly the brightest wolf in the world.
You're brighter than some I know.
Was that actually a compliment?
She doesn't answer.
Don't worry, I won't tell anyone that either.
And in this hidden corridor, you actually come past a hallway that is full of paintings.
Oh wow, what's this?
These, and she points at the hallway as you are passing it. These are portraits of my partners.
Can't help but take a slight peek inside before following.
The first picture you see is a very ordinary looking wolf, not wearing any kind of armor or something, but instead wearing a robe and glasses, sitting behind a desk and smiling at the viewer over the rim of a book.
So why do you keep their paintings down here?
It is none of my subject's business. This is
Fair enough.
private.
Fair enough. Not like I know Luna or Celestia's partners.
I could tell you a few stories about that one if you want.
Please don't tell me they've been with Script. That'll be gross.
She kinda looks over her shoulder, scrunching up her nose. Of course not.
Hey, immortals. I've read stories, okay?
I can just tell you this much. At least Celestia's last lover that I knew of was very tasty.
No wonder she hates you.
She kind of shrugs and continues on. It was war. It's not my fault that she sends her beloved to the front lines.
Wouldn't you have?
She shakes her head. No. My lovers were, as were theirs, all mortals. I couldn't stand to put them in the line of fire like that.
Even if they were an army person? And they wanted to go?
Then, as their commander, I would have ordered them to a safe position.
Midnight raises an eyebrow. What is a safe position in war?
As my bodyguard.
Like you need a bodyguard.
Exactly.
If that's fair.
And you continue on through the darkness for a little bit.
Did anyone ever date Morphus? I have to ask.
She kind of begins laughing out loud.
Yeah, that would be my thought too.
Oh, no, you're mistaken. He actually has a wife.
What?
He is married, yes.
To who?
Last time I checked, she was a Draconicus. Why?
Okay, that explains some things. Actually, a lot of things. What? Of course, a Draconicus would be the only one who could put up with that crazy thing.
Oh, compared to Compared to her, he's tame.
Please tell me she's off in another dimension, causing havoc.
Actually, no.
No?
No.
Then how come I've never met her? Or heard of her?
South Pole.
Why is she in the South Pole?
Because Morphus lives there?
Why does Morphus live in the South Pole?
He finds it hilarious.
Midnight just looks at Lupina in confusion. Is there anything that's actually funny with him?
She taps her chin with a paw. His knock-knock jokes are really good.
Midnight rolls her eyes. Yeah. I wish he told more of those and less of changing reality.
She kind of cocks her head at you. No, I mean real knock-knock jokes. He will summon a door between you and him and then do a knock-knock joke.
Okay, that would be slightly hilarious.
And now imagine his shape-shifting powers. It's really good.
Okay, yes, agreed, that would be funny. But there's only so many knock-knock jokes.
He has had a lot of time to come up with them.
And none have gone out of date?
None.
Impressive. Maybe I'll ask him one time. Or maybe he'll just show it to me randomly because it's Morphus.
And then she suddenly stops.
Bumps into her because accidentally and backs up. Oh, sorry. Why have we stopped?
Because we're there.
Oh.
She reaches up with a paw and pushes one of the ceiling tiles away, flooding the whole hallway around you with glaring sunlight.
Midnight blinks, trying to let her eyes adjust.
And as your eyes adjust, you see that Lupina is already scrambling out of the hole.
Didn't you need let your eyes adjust there?
What for? My eyes are much better than yours.
Midnight groans. When I get my magic bag, I'm so gonna make my eyes better. Jumps out of the hole as well, while scrambles out of the hole.
You find yourself in the middle of the pony encampment.
Midnight blinks. Oops.
Lupina has her ears laid back. Her fur is standing on end. She's growling and her teeth are bared at the earth ponies who are approaching you with spears and swords.
Midnight jumps in front of Lupina and looks at the ponies. Stop. My name is Midnight. I'm a friend of Princess Lunas. We come with a treaty. We mean you no harm, and to be honest, we didn't know this exited exactly here. So please just put those away before someone gets hurt.
Lupina kind of whispers through her growls at you. I actually knew.
Midnight glares at Lupina, mumbling. Then you should have told me and not given me such a surprise. I should have gone first then.
it had been an ambush.
I can look after myself.
The Earth ponies surround you and point their spears and swords at you. And
Look
one
out.
of them steps forward. And you recognize the stallion.
I do.
He's big. He's blonde.
Is it Blue Blood?
Blueblood isn't an Earth pony, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Who are you talking about?
And he has a red hide.
Blonde, big... Big Mac?
Yes?
Okay, then. This is gonna be interesting, because I've told you about the relationship between Midnight and the Apple family, haven't I?
I think you did, but remind me?
They're on good terms now. Midnight gets food from them for protection of their animals.
Ah, right, yes. That was it.
So actually, her and Big Mac are good friends.
He kind of looks at you, raising an eyebrow, looking a tad confused, while chewing on a haystack.
Have we got our magic back, by the way, because we're outside the barrier now?
No, because the camp is also encased in a barrier.
Great.
Which is why, when you look around, all you see are Earth ponies and Pegasi.
Ah, makes sense. Big Mac. Oh, good to see a friendly face. Look, we need to talk to Luna and Celestia. Got a treaty, and honestly, there was meant to be a ceasefire.
He takes off his helmet, puts it down in front of him, spits out the stalk, and looks at you a little bit sadly. Well, I'm mighty sorry, Miss Midnight, but I don't think I can do that.
You can't take the rule. What? Why not?
I'm under orders and all.
To do what?
To make sure that none of your wolves get into the camp.
Well, no offense, but you kind of failed at that. We're already in the camp. Second off, we are... If anything, I'm the best person to be an emissary. Come on, Big Mac, you know me. Yes, I've got the Queen of the Wolves right behind me, but still.
I know, and believe me, I'm mighty sorry. I'd really like to help you, Miss Midnight. But there's nothing I can do. Please turn around. We won't report this.
You want us to turn around to go back in the camp, to go back to the castle, where we can do nothing while you just drain our magic, and then invade us. Rather than seeking a proper peaceful and friendship way of solving this.
Look, it's not what I would have done.
Maybe not. But you have a decision here. If you are in charge of this group, then you make the decisions. You know me and Luna are basically mother and daughter.
Oh, I know. But, look, I'm not the one calling the shots here.
You are now.
He looks over his shoulder at a tent. No, I'm not.
Who is in charge then?
And it is then that you notice that the Earth ponies do not wear typical equestrian armor. It's not the armor of the Royal Equestrian Guard.
Is Shining in that tent?
Actually, no. We are here, or they are here, to, as far as I got it, to liberate the prince.
What?
He has not returned from a mission he was sent into the Wolf Empire for.
Midnight's eyes widen. Wait, you sent Shining Armor into the Lupine Empire as a spy?
I didn't. Celestia did.
Midnight turns to look at Lupina.
Little fourth wall break here, love.
Yeah?
Little callback to our last episode where Lily told you they had captured a spy.
I assumed it was just a normal pony! And Midnight was thinking there's nothing she can do. Literally nothing she can do. The best thing was to get a treaty signed as soon as possible. Midnight was thinking objectively. There was nothing she could do. She wasn't going to go to Lupina and say, hey, you know what pony have you captured? Besides, why would Celestia send in the king of the guard? Not the king of the guard. The head of the guard in as a spy. That's preposterous.
She has never been known to be a good strategist, so...
Okay, Midnight face palms, looks at Lupina and goes, okay. We got a problem.
Lupina does not take her eyes off the ponies around you. Her eyes, like, constantly switching between the ponies. What do you mean?
Weren't you told you caught someone?
I was kinda busy. I noticed.
Midnight turns back to Big Mac. Okay, so we can't leave. Even though technically I'm a pony. But, can you deliver a message instead?
I think I might be able to do that.
Okay. Tell Celestia and Luna, first off, that me, their father, and Morphus are inside the barrier, and that this was not part of the agreement. And I'm pretty sure that once that barrier is brought down, they're going to get another shout out. And second, we have a treaty ready to go. Will they please organize and send a meeting arrangement so that we can sit down and talk about this?
Oh, so let me get this right. You want the barrier to go down, and the princesses to come sit down and talk with you.
It doesn't have to be in the kingdom. It can be in between. Whatever, we can figure that out.
I will deliver your message. And
Thank you.
And he turns around and walks in a completely different direction than the tent he was looking at earlier.
Wait, where are you going now?
He stops, looks over his shoulder at you. You wanted me to deliver this message to Celestia and Luna, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Brain's not working. Turns to Lupina. Lupina, get back in the hole.
Lupina twitches her tail towards the hole, indicating that you should go first.
Lupina, they won't harm me. Get in the hole.
She doesn't move.
Fine. Ponies, please step back, 'cause one sudden movement might get you killed.
You see that most of them look unimpressed, but a few look as if they're visibly gulping.
Midnight jumps back in the hole and says, "Get in now!"
Lupina, you see Lupina jumping up into the air, doing a flip in midair, and lands right in front of you inside the hole while she pulls the ceiling tile back in place with her tail.
Okay, impressive move.
Thank you.
Now we need to get back and save Shining Armor.
Who?
Cadence's husband.
Who?
Cadence's husband.
Excuse me, Midnight, but who is Cadence?
Celestia's niece.
Oh. And she wouldn't happen to be the ruler of the Crystal Empire?
She is, in fact, the ruler of the Crystal Empire.
Well, I guess there's no time to lose then. And she turns around and leads you back the same way you came.
Follows hurriedly, slightly telling herself off for not realizing beforehand.
Well, I gave you all the hints.
Love, I repeat, Celestia shouldn't have sent the head of the guard as a spy.
Well, who else but your most qualified guard?
Simple. Anyone else. You don't send your head of the guard in, leaving your guard with no commander.
She has a commander.
Who?
You just met him.
He's a farmer.
I know.
She should have sent in any other pony. Derpy would have been better.
Who? Derpy?
Yes.
Imagine Spy Derpy.
Actually, I want to see a picture of that now. Spy Derpy.
Muffin.
Just beside Bon Bon.
No special agent sweetie drops.
Special agent sweetie drops. So, Derpy comes down on a line, upside down, and Sweetie Drops is just standing there, looking at her, going,
Really?
What on earth? Really? Okay, someone, whoever's listening, draw a picture, please. I want to see this.
Okay.
Anyway, continue.
So you arrive back in the throne room after about half an hour of walk.
Mm.
And as you do, wolves are running around frantically.
Okay, something's happened.
Lupina immediately steps forward, stopping one of them very not gently by basically putting her paw in his path and stopping him by the throat.
Oof. Midnight grimaces.
She looks at you and kind of shrugs. Hey, it works. Then she picks up the wolf and asks him, What has happened? Oh, my queen! There is an intruder. An intruder?
An intruder?
Yes, in the castle. We have tried to stop her, but we can't seem to be able to. Not without our magic.
Who?
I don't know.
Pony? What type of pony? What type of wolf? What?
It's a pony. Is that much I can tell you? Kinda looks like Celestia, but different.
Cadence.
Lupina drops her advisor, takes on a sprinting position and starts running.
Runs after her best I can.
And you see her zigzagging through the corridors, evading wolves that seem to be fleeing from something, while sometimes even jumping on the walls to get around corners.
Follows best she can, but she's not good at that sort of acrobatics.
Some of the wolves bump into you and slow you down a little.
Yells out, "Get out of the way!"
They don't listen to you.
Damn it!
They're just in a blind panic.
Keeps running, keeping an eye on Lupina while following while also keeping an eye on ponies. Wolves.
You lose sight of Lupina as she jumps onto a wall, digs her claws into it, and runs around a corner as a literal wave of wolves comes spilling down the corridor towards you.
Jumps out of the way and grips onto your statue.
So you sit on top of a statue.
I grip onto your statue, so I'm gripping onto it tightly.
And you feel yourself being battered by wolves running past. The statue wobbling slightly as a few of them run into it.
Jumps over, climbs to the top of the statue, jumps over all the wolves, and turns the corner.
No sight of Lupina.
Drat.
Only claw marks on the wall.
Follow the claw marks.
You follow the claw marks down the hallway and see that they disappear from the wall but continue on the carpet.
Follows the carpet claws. Carpet claws, yeah.
Carpet claws. They wouldn't be able to cut anything. Okay. The part of the castle you're in right now is completely deserted. It's so quiet that it's eerie.
Shivers slightly at the eeriness, but keeps following the claw marks.
As you keep following the claw marks, you hear the sound of magic in the distance.
Runs towards it.
Followed by a growl and a yelp.
Keeps running. Faster.
A few loud barks join the cacophony of sounds that are now consisting of metal on metal, metal on flesh, magic, growls, howls, and barks.
Keeps running! What else can I do? I want to get there! Tell me when I get there!
You get to a section of hallway that is littered with dead wolves. Around 20 of them you see after a quick count.
Mm.
And in the middle of the hallway, Lupina is jumping from wall to wall and sometimes jumping from the wall towards Cadence to go for another attack, while Cadence is shooting beams from her horn at her.
Yells, "Enough!"
They completely ignore you.
Runs forward, and since Cadence is so concentrated on Lupina, slaps her in the face.
She kind of loses focus on her horn for a second and looks at you indignantly.
Stop this now. We know why you're here. It was a mistake. Stop it.
And as you say this, Lupina pounces and knocks Cadence to the floor.
At which point Midnight pushes Lupina, charges at Lupina, pushing her off and standing in between the two.
You see that there is a big gash on Lupina's side that's bleeding. And that her breath is so hot that it's actually creating puffs of smoke as she's growling.
Midnight slightly grimaces and turns to Cadence. Enough, Cadence. We get it. You're here for your husband. We didn't know, and Lupina didn't even know until I mentioned to her. First off, whose idea was it to send the head of the guard into a hostile territory as a spy?
He volunteered, if you must know.
So? That's not smart! That's leaving the guard without a commander. Seriously, if I had known, I would have gone down. I would have gone down there way sooner. My first plan was to get a treaty, and right now you're ruining any chance of peace.
Cadence kind of looks over your shoulder at Lupina. Picking herself up off the floor and standing in front of you at her full height. From what I've seen so far, I don't think there will be peace at all.
Not if you keep acting like predators. So far, the only creatures I've seen actually acting like simple beings have been Lupina and her kind. Every single alicorn, every single pony has come at them with hostility. Did it ever occur to any of you that they could change?
Predators seldom do.
Predators can. And may I point out, ponies aren't exactly complete herbivores either. I've seen you eat... What was it? A little robin.
She blushes a little, but then looks back at you. But we do not go out of our way to hunt.
They need to hunt. That is their primary need. It's not like things are just going to walk up to them and say, hey, I don't want to live anymore. I want to die. Please eat me. If it was that easy, then that would be possible. But they can't. You farm. They need to hunt. And I've got written a treaty which makes sure they will not hunt Pony. So please, please, let's just go get your husband. And let's just go and we can maybe sort this. I understand your anger and I understand your concerns. But please, no more bloodshed on either side. If this fight is ever going to end, ever, then we need to start acting on the main thing Equestria is about. Friendship.
Cadence looks at you and she nods.
Okay. Midnight turns back to Lupina. Let's get you patched up first.
Lupina's still snarling, but her snarling and growling. But her fur has gone down and she doesn't look too good on her feet.
Midnight rushes forward. Turning back to Cadence. Cadence, you're the only one who has magic here. Can you heal her?
No.
You physically can't or you won't?
Both.
At least you're honest.
That is a wound inflicted by my own magic. I cannot heal it.
Then how do we fix it?
I don't know. I never devised a spell to heal the damage that I did.
Midnight thinks for a moment. Wait. Drop the barrier.
She kind of raises an eyebrow at you.
Look, her magic can heal her. She's supposed to be one of the 5. If she can get her magic back, she can heal herself.
I'm not doing that before I have my husband with me.
Fine. Midnight looks at Lupina. Lupina? Right. Midnight grabs one of the curtains hanging by, rips it, and wraps it tightly around the wound. That should help for now.
And Lupina passes out.
Damn it.
With a whimper.
Pause. I don't know what to do. I don't want to do. I don't want to die. I don't. Help! 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 Help!
Okay, let's put it like this. The wound that Cadence inflicted is very deep.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially lethal.
Yeah, I got that.
Right now, Lupina was only running on adrenaline because the one good hit that Cadence actually got in basically vaporized one of her lungs.
So is the only way to help her to get the barrier down?
Mm-hmm.
Is the... Okay. But they won't let them out with my word, would they? Would they let them out with my word?
You forget one very important thing.
I look like Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. And wait, Thingy's magic still works and Cadence's magic still works?
Yes.
How far away is the thing?
Just around the next corner.
Okay, let's go. Midnight turns to Cadence. Okay then. We need to go quickly. Because you just if she dies, you're causing all-out war. And this time, they won't be holding back.
As long as the barrier is up, we have nothing to fear.
You have to fear one thing.
She raises an eyebrow.
They won't go down without a fight. And wolves have claws. You don't. Midnight grabs Cadence with a paw, careful not to scratch her, and leads her round the next corner.
Where you see one very scared-looking, pretty tiny wolf wearing armor, and he's shaking in his armor and kind of tries to look tough.
Stand down, soldier. Let the prisoner out.
As you command, your highness. And he throws a keyring at you and runs.
Midnight rolls her eyes and sticks the keys in the door and opens it. I'm sorry for the state he'll be in, but he'll be alive, I know that much.
And the door opens, and inside you see a little bit of a, well, it almost looks like a 5-star hotel room.
Midnight blinks. Wait, what?
And in the middle of it sits Shining Armor at a very nice table eating grapes while one female wolf is massaging his back.
Never mind, I was misinformed.
Shining Armor! And Cadence storms into the room. And before Shining can say anything in response, the two of them vanish in a teleportation vortex.
Please turn down the barrier. Please turn down the barrier. Please take down the barrier. Midnight rushes back to Lupina, quickly telling the other wolf, the female wolf, get help. Queen Lupina is hurt.
She nods and runs off.
Midnight runs back to Lupina's side.
And Lupina's breathing as you reach her side is quick and shallow.
Midnight.
While there is a pool of blood under her, even through the curtains that you have wrapped around her.
Midnight nuzzles her slightly. Looking out the window, Hope just keeping on repeating, bring the barrier down, bring the barrier down.
Nothing happens.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna do it?
I'm not telling you.
Come on! I'm begging here. This is all I'm gonna do until it drops, so just tell me, please!
Is there anything you want to do?
There's nothing she can do! There's nothing she physically can do!
And Lupina's breathing becomes slower.
What am I meant to do here?
Just wait.
What can I do?
And as Lupina's breathing becomes slower and slower, you see the barrier outside dissolving.
Midnight sighs slightly in relief, but not completely, as she keeps watching Lupina, wrapping her tail and paws around her, holding her, just hoping that she comes back, that she's okay.
You feel your own power coming back to you ever so slowly.
I can't heal her, can I?
If you were at full power, maybe.
But I'm not. I didn't think. I thought I couldn't heal her. I remember that being a thing in the last.
Yeah, you cannot use magic on any of them unless they allow you to.
Or are unconscious.
Or just basically don't resist you. It's a thing.
Yeah. Midnight stays where she is, hoping that Lupina's coming back.
And she stops breathing.
Midnight sighs as a tear rolls down her cheek.
And then suddenly she gasps.
Midnight jumps up.
For air.
Midnight jumps up, looking at her in surprise. Wait, you're alive? You're alive?
She doesn't answer. Instead, she keeps hacking and cuffing. Spitting blood, basically.
Oh, thank goodness you're alive.
And she spits a big puddle of blood right in front of your paws.
Doesn't even take notice. Is just overjoyed. Wrapping a paw around her. Thank goodness. Don't scare me like that ever again.
Not my fault.
Midnight wipes a tear away. Still. No more running ahead of me.
I had to.
I know. But damn it, you could have taken me on your back or something.
No time. And then she cuffs again and actually cuffs out like a half-charred lung.
Please tell me your lungs are regrowing.
She takes a shallow breath, then looks at you. In due time.
Also,
I really hate it when this happens.
This isn't the first time?
She raises an eyebrow at you. I have battled Celestia and Luna.
Well, now you've beaten one of the other princesses.
I didn't beat her because someone interfered.
Fine, I beat her. Feel better?
Actually, no.
Would you have rathered I just let you die? Also, I thought you tortured your prisoners. That's the way Lily put it towards me. I didn't think you'd give them a basically luxury life.
We may be predators, but we are not savages.
I'm actually curious. Do you know if we're gonna have to find out if he gave any information because that would be actually a very interesting torture technique.
She kind of snaps two claws together, summoning a notebook that is half open, and starts reading its contents.
Well?
According to this, we even know his social security number by now.
First off, then that's an amazing torture technique, though I don't think it can qualify as torture. Is it luxury torture? I don't know. Second off, yeah, I'm amazed he didn't try and kill me when I entered the room.
Why would he?
He kind of knows what I had to what Celestia ordered me to do whenever I needed to survive. He's one of the few people that actually know I've eaten. Ugh.
Dear Midnight, even if he had wanted to, he couldn't have attacked you in that room.
No?
No.
Magic? Or because I look like Lily?
Magic.
Okay, noted. Also, I kind of...
spell.
Oh.
No violence allowed in that room.
Hence why Cadence had to teleport out before scolding him for getting massages from a wolf.
She kind of chuckles at you. As long as that was all he got.
Okay.
Let's just say our interrogators are very dedicated.
Moving on, anyway. Let's hope Big Mac got my message.
Lupina still looks a little bit weak, but starts walking back the way you came.
Midnight follows. I'm sorry. Again.
For what?
Well, for clearly not warning you, but that there was a third princess.
Well, I don't think she really qualifies. So I'll give you a pass.
You know about Twilight, right?
I think my dear brother mentioned something like that.
Yeah, another alicorn of friendship. Princess of friendship. Seriously, she would have a field day with Celestia if she was here, but apparently she's, like, in dimension hopping.
Yeah, I don't know why you ponies... or the ponies like to do that, but apparently it's a very favorite pastime of some of them.
Maybe it's because you can go away and it come back at the same... It's more the unknown.
Lupina chuckles. Oh, I can see the allure of that.
Well, do you want to look over this? Holds out the thing, the slightly scrunched treaty. Or shall I wait until we're all three of us are in a room?
Lupina grabs it, and in a very weak-looking magical aura, has it float in front of her as she's walking.
I'll take that as I need to look at it now.
At a few sections of it, she frowns.
What sections don't you like?
This agreement... Well, certainly. Our technology is much farther advanced than that of Equestria, but Seriously. The prices that Lily wrote down here are ridiculous. Just 2 sacks of corn for 1 transport capsule? Do you even know how long it takes to build one of those?
True. That I don't, but I think Lily was mainly going for a thing that's helped us keep peace for at least a while. The negotiations can be of the trade agreements can be rectified later.
And then she points at another section of the trade agreement. And 2 gemstones. 2 gemstones for a building exoskeleton. That is... Just 1 gemstone is needed to even power the thing.
Okay, we can rectify that easily. But you also have to remember it takes a lot of work to do grain and things. You guys will need a lot of that stuff too.
Oh, don't worry, because my dear daughter seems to have thought of everything. And she points at another section of the treaty, holding it directly in front of your face.
I can't read it.
She pulls it back slightly so you can read it.
Takes a look.
And what you read is Section 1, Paragraph 11. The Lupine Empire hereby agrees to send workers to help with farming to improve Equestria's production of grain and other vegetables.
Midnight blinks. That actually would be brilliant for relations.
And horrible for our own population.
Nipponat, I know it's going to be hard. I agree it's going to be difficult for a long time. Especially after this stuff.
But no, you don't understand. The numbers she's writing down here, and she points at a little, listing of workers that are supposed to go over.
Mm-hmm.
We have lost over 50% of our population today.
You don't have enough. Okay then, we will have to rework the numbers. Desperately. Maybe we can cancel that one out for now.
That would be the only viable thing to do, because otherwise the entire empire will leave.
Midnight nods. Okay then. Let's sit down with Lily. Clearly she needs a bit more information. I think she's in the library.
And she takes a right where you definitely know you should take a left to go back to the throne room, and leads you towards the library.
Walks beside her. To be fair, she still did think of everything. Your Lily's pretty smart, and can talk legal talk where I can't.
Yes, she has baffled the High Court several times. It was during her teenage years that she decided to become a lawyer.
Did you mind?
No. Actually, I didn't. She completely reworked our Book of Laws.
And she still didn't manage to get you guys to stop eating pony?
That was before that rebellious phase.
You know it's not a phase, right?
We'll see about that.
Yeah. At least she never fell for script.
Lupina kind of stops in her tracks and looks at you.
What?
What did you just say?
I said at least she never fell for script.
Elaborate.
In the alternate dimension, she and script had a thing. Apparently.
Lupina bares her fangs at you slightly.
What?
My Lily?
Not your Lily, another dimension's Lily.
She
And if it's-
blinks. Then keeps walking as if nothing had happened.
That's all. Besides, he's kind of taken now.
I guessed that.
That obvious, huh?
She kind of lets her... She falls back, so she's walking right beside you, and lets her nose wander from your ears to your tail.
Huh?
You smell of him.
Midnight blinks. I'm so not used to being around wolves, I forget that you guys can smell that.
And she kind of chuckles and walks ahead slightly, calling back to you. But don't expect me to watch the pups.
First off, runs forward. We've barely been going out, what, a day? And second off, who says we'd have pups?
Your smell does.
What?
She doesn't elaborate. She just keeps walking.
Midnight shakes her head, runs after, and changes the subject. So, is there anything other than the numbers that you have a problem with?
She, in a slightly stronger magical aura now, spreads out all 11 pages of the agreement so that they float in front of the two of you, and picks one out. This one. It forbids us to have border guards.
Okay, we could put a minimum bar to border. I'm sure Celestia and Luna would like to keep their border guards too, so we'll do a minimum.
I insist on a demilitarized zone.
That works too.
And she pulls out another one, which has writings about annual cultural exchanges between both countries.
What's this?
It's basically suggesting a cultural fair.
So...
Held annually. The first to be held here, the next one in Canterlot, and the next one here again.
In all fairness, that sounds fair to me. They do the same thing with Yak-Yakistan.
I do not want to talk about dinner. Thank you very much.
Well, they're gonna have to get used to you eating meat and around them, and vice versa. Though I doubt you'll have much problems with them eating vegetables. So, you know, just do what you did on the spaceship. Wait. Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, you're still there. Midnight. Sorry. Midnight then thinks, oh wait, that wasn't you. Well, it was you. It was different you. But just, what I mean is just prepare it in, you know, other places. Prepare it behind the scenes and then bring it out.
We always do.
Then there's no problem there.
So you two reach the library, finding Lily brooding over a few books.
Walks over. Did you not hear any of what was going on outside?
She doesn't react to you and just keeps reading.
Lily? Lily?
No
Pulls
reaction.
the book that she's reading towards me. Lily!
She looks up, then takes her paws and pulls something out of her ears, and you suddenly hear loud music.
Oh, sorry.
You didn't hear anything that was going on outside?
No. What was going on outside?
You don't feel your magic is back?
Oh, I did notice something was different, but I was kinda occupied, you know.
Midnight looks at Lupina and back at thinking, slightly saying, under her breath, yeah, she's a bookie.
She just shrugs and smiles at you.
Midnight turns back to Lily. We need to discuss the numbers that you put down. Do you realize how many people how many wolves you lost today?
A lot, yes, I know.
So the numbers you put down won't
work.
As in, you'd lose half the kingdom?
All the kingdom, to be precise.
But why?
She looks over your shoulder at Lupina.
Because I figured that's the best way to guarantee peace is to integrate with pony society.
You don't want the kingdom.
She then looks sadly at you.
I do want the kingdom. It's my home. But with as many as we have lost today, there's no way we can keep it running for an extended period of time.
Midnight frowns. I know this, but there's no way that integrating like that will happen in such a short period of time. Ponies will not accept that, not that quickly. Maybe in a few years, but
we don't
at least
have that long, Midnight. Our food stores, even if calculated and rationed very, very generously, will last us maybe 6 months.
Knight looks at Lupina. Is this true?
Lupina nods. Yes. We would need our infrastructure. It is without the farms that I promised you not to reopen. Our food supplies will run out in 6 months' time. And without the sufficient workforce, our arcane sciences are not well staffed enough to create artificial supplements.
then it looks like you'll need Pony's help more than I. Though I think I can up your stores for a while. At least for the year. I know where I can get enough food to last you that long. I mean, it'll mean a lot more hunting for me later, but I can up your stores another 6 months.
You don't have to.
What do you mean?
There are several solutions to this problem.
What are they?
Lily kind of shakes her head. Mom, don't. And Lupina looks you directly in the eyes and says, Number 1, you destroy that damn treaty that I signed eons ago, and I can go hunting for my people.
Wait, what?
We wouldn't need artificial supplements if I can go hunting.
What stops you from going hunting now? The thing only
cannot harm mortals.
Rabbits and deer count as mortals?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Another
cannot harm them with my magic. And even detecting them would count as using my magic.
And I can destroy it because I am the 5th. And I'm not part of that treaty.
Exactly.
There's 2 reasons why I wouldn't do that.
Because
First,
you are afraid I would hunt ponies.
No, actually. This whole ordeal has shown me that you honor your promises, even those not magically bonded. Yes, it probably would be more dangerous if ever you did come to war. But, at least for now, I do trust you.
Thank you.
No, my fear is actually for Gerald.
Oh.
If he were to ever get free, he could actually hurt.
He is not part of the pact.
Isn't he? He's part of script.
Yes, he may be, or at least he was. But that long ago, that long away from the being that you originated from, will make you a separate being entirely in the universe's eyes.
Huh. Okay. Wait, since you have the power of creation, can't you just magic up food?
Only so much.
Just curious. Any other options?
Well, you could ask my dear brother to help me with this problem.
First off, which one? I'm guessing script, but I'm just gonna say which one. Second off, how would he be able to help you?
While I do possess the power of creation, my forte is more in objects. Inanimate objects.
Okay.
his creation power is more universal.
So he'd be able to create animals for you?
That. Or he could just create meat.
He'd have to create a lot of meat. And no offense, but...
Do you even know, or can you even fathom how big our population is?
I'll be honest, no. See? Not that smart.
Lily taps on your shoulder.
Midnight looks over.
Before this attack tonight, our population was... And she pulls out a calculator out of a pocket, puts on a pair of glasses, and presses a few buttons. 9,500,600.
And that was half.
That was the population before the attack. Now we are at about 4.3 billion.
A lot of meat. It'll be quite a strain on him.
We did have a population boom a few years before the big event. Yes.
Curious, do you think you'll have a pretty quick boom soon? If the peace was restored?
Lupina and Lily kind of look at each other and then shakes their heads. I
Really?
don't think so.
Great.
Because a lot of those who died were male.
As males fight, females... They fight, but, you know, tend to be more protective of the pups.
Right now, there are only 15% males in our surviving population.
Oh darn, that's a lot of females.
That means we will have to, and I'm pretty sure this will cause a lot of trouble in the future, have breeding programs to make sure that there's no genetic inbreeding.
Point. Because although wolves usually have better chances, still causes problems.
Mm-hmm.
So the best option right now is that I destroy that treaty.
It would certainly help. Though, Midnight,
Yes?
I will be honest with you. If you do, you should never again approach the Dragon Country.
Are you gonna destroy the dragons?
Maybe not destroy, but do you even know how much meat one dragon has?
Point.
Just one fully grown dragon can support this country for about a month.
Then I've got an idea. You're not gonna like it though.
Tell me.
We'll rework the treaty that Lily has with the proper numbers that we could actually feasibly do, which probably won't be much at all, if anything. Secondly, I still would like it if for security reasons, for the ponies. I trust you, but I don't think they do. I've had this idea for basically since Lily suggested. The treaty will have same pretenses as the one you want me to rip up. If either side breaks it, all your power is lost.
Lupina looks in shock at Lily. Then at you. You do realize one thing, Midnight, don't you? Even if just one of my subjects who is sent over as workforce steps out of line, I am punished.
Looks at Lily. Any way we could stipulate it that only if he steps out of line? Or if Luna and Celestia? It'll leave a big loophole, but it should leave some reassurance.
I don't think so. It's either all or nothing with those things.
You think? Okay, that's not a go. It's no offense, I trust you, but I don't necessarily trust your subjects. That's fair?
Fair enough.
Because there's going to be there's going to be scruffles. I know that, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows that. Then, I guess.
And suddenly a black cloud kind of like swirls around you and then forms into a mouse on top of your head.
Yes, Morphus? What's up?
Well, hello there! What did I miss?
You didn't sense your power disappearing, did you? Or coming back?
Actually, I was not here for a few hours, to be completely honest with you.
I thought you were with Script!
He's boring. Today, at least.
Where is he?
Last time I saw him, he went into a very interesting etablissement.
I need his advice. Go get him for me, will ya?
If you insist, you party pooper.
Thank you, Morphe.
And don't call me Morphe. And he turns into black mist again and disappears. A few minutes later, reappearing with a script floating in his mist form. And Script is kind of struggling against being pulled along like this.
Okay, I'm starting to think Morphus might be more powerful, considering he just teleported Script without him wanting to be teleported.
He didn't teleport him, he dragged him along.
Oh, okay. Let him down, Script. Morphus. Gently.
He forms into a stunning representation of a royal guard and pulls off a salute. Then drops Script onto the floor.
I said gently.
Hey, this was gently.
I should have said slowly then. Walks over to Script, nuzzling him. You okay?
Considering that I was just pulled out of a bathroom when I was attempting to do something there, yes, I am okay.
Sorry. We've kind of been discussing things, and there seems to be a bit of a problem.
He looks at Lupina. Don't tell me. You tried to get her to destroy the treaty. Can't blame me for trying.
Midnight glares. Oh, come on! That was just a trick!
Lupina looks at you. Not a trick, but you're certainly not the first one I tried to get to do it.
Is it really the only way?
No. As
What's...
I said, get him to do it.
After I said I trusted you? Really?
You could have trusted me. I would have still kept my word.
And I still believe you.
But you must also know that Morphus, Elysium, and Script got me to sign that treaty when I was drunk out of my mind.
Midnight slightly chuckles. Okay, what are you like drunk?
She blushes and turns away. That is none of your concern.
I am so seeing that one day.
Script chortled slightly and, hits Morphus into the ribs with his elbow, who also is chuckling.
I am so seeing that one day. Anyway! So, Script, care to help out your dear sister?
He kind of ignores you for a second as he whispers something into Morphus's ear, who breaks out laughing, turning into a hyena.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. I just asked Morphus if he remembered how our dear sister, after drinking way too much vodka and rum, which was a very interesting mix, used her power to create a whole hallway full of clown statues who she then asked Elysium to animate and then performed a musical song while dancing with each and every one of them.
Midnight's jaw dropped, looking at Lupina.
She blushes so intensely that you can see the red of her skin through her purple fur.
Midnight looks at Lily.
She's laying on her back laughing.
Okay. Just note to all of you. Actually, Morphus, plug your ears.
He stops laughing as a hyena and turns back to his pony self, looking at you indignantly.
Fine. Just don't do that next time. Try butlers. They're really fun to dance with.
Okay, then.
Anyway.
Yes, Midnight.
Care to help out, Script?
What do you want me to do?
Meat. Meat. We need meat. Enough meat to last them for a while. That keeps fresh. Because seriously, keeping meat fresh is near impossible.
He looks at Lupina sadly. So, you want me to provide you with a food source for your people? And Lupina nods.
Midnight grimaces. Whoa, 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 not him!
And Script looks at you. I can give them what they need. and they will never hunger again. And don't worry, it won't be me.
Okay.
But he sighs, takes off his glasses, and rubs the ridge of his nose. Look, it is something that I have done before, when Lupin and I were still on much better terms than we are now. And I have regretted it for quite a long time.
What are you talking about?
He waves his hoof, and the most beautiful and radiant white stag appears in front of all of you.
Whoa.
And immediately topples to the floor, drooling.
I am so confused. Someone explain something.
Try to take a bite out of him.
Takes a bite from his shoulder.
And just as you have removed the meat, the wound closes and regrows.
Okay, so it's like you, but I'm still confused. Why would you regret this? Is it because you went through the same thing?
Script puts his glasses back on and looks at you. No. 5 minutes ago, this stag was a normal, wonderful, divine stag with a consciousness and everything. I just removed that.
Midnight looks at the deer and back at Script. But I eat deer all the time. They're animals.
This is a divine animal.
Midnight thinks for a second. Is this the only way?
The only way, unless you want to set Lupina loose on the world.
I'm actually less worried about Lupina and more worried about Rufus.
Hey!
His jokes alone could probably get someone killed.
He turns into a monkey, crosses his arms and legs, and turns away from you.
Midnight rolls her eyes. Right now, the only ones I trust are you, Script, obviously, and Lupina. You know she keeps her word.
I certainly do. The thing is, Midnight, have you ever before encountered a divine stag?
No, I haven't.
They are very beautiful and
Midnight.
radiant and intelligent. The only way I can keep them from going through the same torture that I was is to remove their consciousness.
And put it
will be
where?
a body without an essence or a soul.
So, sort of like the way you left Lupina down in that cave.
Yes. The only difference is that since their bodies will be constantly eaten, they will not wither down like Lupina's did.
Mm-hmm.
And to sustain Lupina's entire population, and then he glares at Lupina a little bit, I would have to do this to 100 of them.
Mm. Midnight starts pacing, grimacing. She looks at Lily. What do you think?
It is the only way. It is either this, or we starve, or we start hunting.
Mm.
And as much as I would like to vouch for my people, I cannot promise that some of them wouldn't wander into Ponylands.
I know. Then there's only one person I really need to ask.
And who is that?
Pause for a second. I'm thinking. There is someone, but I'm just realizing I can't bring her in. I'm gonna have to do the conversation myself. Or at least one half of it.
Ah, you mean Erica?
Uh-huh. Midnight magics a phone. I'm just gonna say phone because I don't know how else to contact her. And immediately puts it to her ear as it rings.
Everyone kind of looks at you slightly confused, except for Script.
All you can hear is one side of the conversation. Hey, sis. I'm gonna do one side to keep everyone in suspense.
Okay.
And partly because I don't want to ruin her character, so I'm not gonna even try to voice it. Hey, sis. Need your advice. Care to help? She explains the situation. And after a bit of silence, Midnight nods. Yeah, okay. God, I hate it when you're right. Midnight then says goodbye and hangs up and walks back to the group. Midnight looks at Script. Do they have a kingdom?
Not a kingdom per se, no.
Can you choose who you bring?
No.
Not gonna get us in trouble, is it?
To be quite honest, I don't know. I only know that last time I visited their lands, they were very, very cold towards me.
Yeah, don't go there anymore.
I didn't plan to for the next few millennia.
Which would you prefer?
This is a lose-lose situation, Midnight. No matter what we do, we are doomed if we do and doomed if we don't.
At least you're giving them some sort of mercy. That's the only thing my head can think about. You're not torturing them.
I'm not torturing them, but I'm torturing myself.
Could you live with it?
I'd have no other chance, to be honest.
Would you do it?
Yes.
Why?
Because Lupina's people do deserve a second chance. And I've wiped them out before, and I cannot stand by letting it happen again.
Midnight nuzzles script. Resting her forward and hit.
So you want me to do this?
Yeah. It's the safest option.
All right. And he disengages a little bit from you, disentangles himself from you. Please step back.
Midnight does so.
And you see that Lupina, Morphus, and Lily are also taking several paces back. Then Script stands up on his hind hoofs, puts his front hoofs together, his head slowly sinking until his chin touches his front hoofs. And then, in a violent and sudden motion, he extends his forelegs to the sides and throws his head back. His muzzle wide open, his eyes wide open, and red light shining from each of them. While you hear a scream echoing through the room.
Midnight covers her ears.
A scream that sounds like it comes from a million throats.
Midnight curls up into a ball, covering her ears as tightly as she can.
And it grows louder and louder and louder.
Midnight's mind flashes back to the crystal the night before.
And just as the screams reach their peak, they stop just as abruptly as they have started. And the light from Script's eyes and mouth darkens, and he collapses to the floor, bawling like a little baby.
Midnight opens her eyes, running over quickly and holding him tight. apologizing profusely.
He does not open his eyes, but just sobs into your fur. And Lupina steps up to you, brushing a little bit of his hair out of his face.
Midnight looks up at her. Don't forget.
I will not. And believe me, I would have preferred if you had destroyed the contract. Because I don't think you know what just happened to him.
Midnight looks down. I think you may be right.
Every single soul and every single mind that he just destroyed, every single experience, every single memory just went through him, and he was forced to relive it.
Midnight holds him tighter.
And he felt every little bit of pain that those souls felt as he destroyed them.
Midnight doesn't say a word.
And you can, through the sobs of script, you can just continuously hear him say, "I'm sorry."
She holds him tighter. Not saying a word. Just stroking his mane. We have to make peace now. This has to be worth it. She looks at Lupina. We're doing everything we can to make peace.
Lupina nods and brings over the papers that you gave her earlier. Lily has by now adjusted the sections with workforce and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Lupina looks it over once more, then nods, goes to the last page of the agreement, bites her right front paw, and then places her signature on the contract. My part is done, and I will honor this treaty.
Midnight nods. Then it's time to bring the other two. I wonder if they got our message.
And there is a flash of light right behind you.
Midnight turns.
In front of you stand Celestia, Luna, Cadence, and Shining Armor, who has a definite hoofprint in his face.
Midnight doesn't stop holding script.
Luna and Celestia approach him, but do not touch him.
It's okay. Midnight nods, grabs the treaty and gives it to Luna. Take a look over it.
I don't think that will be necessary.
We don't even know the agreement.
We felt what our father did.
Midnight lowers her head. Then you know that peace is the only option now.
Cadence steps forward, summons an inkwell, and, well, steps her foot, her hoof in it, and then places her hoofprint on the contract. Shining Armor doing the same. Without a word, I might add. Both of them just look in disgust at Script before teleporting away.
Midnight just pets his mane. She looks at why do I keep saying Lily? Not Lily. Luna. Why are there so many L names in this story? Why did you put so many L names in this story?
Those are just the names that come to me.
She looks at Luna and Celestia.
Celestia floats, hovers, levitates, whatever, the treaty over to her and away from Script. You get the distinct feeling that she does not want to approach him. Then summons a little bit of ink herself, steps in it, and puts her hoofprint on the treaty. I hope you are satisfied now, she says, and teleports away. Luna takes the treaty herself, takes a look at it, and takes a look at Script, and then looks at you with a very hard expression in her eyes. Hard and cold.
Midnight sighs that holds her gaze, uttering only this. We did what was necessary. We wouldn't have had to do it if you'd held up your side.
Luna signs the treaty. Differently from the others, she uses a quill. Actually signing the treaty with one of her own feathers. And then unceremoniously drops the thing on the floor, so that the pages go every which way, and teleports out of there. Morphus turns into an aristocracy-looking pony with a monocle and everything. Picks up the treaty, rolls it up, seals it with the seal of the five, and makes it disappear. Well then, my dear fellows, I think this went fairly well, and I think this calls for a celebration.
Midnight just glares at Morphus. Morphus? Can you... A lot has happened in the last few hours. Could you leave us be, please?
His expression kind of falls, and he just looks at you and drops his ears. I was just trying to cheer you up, you know?
I know.
I know that bad things have happened, and I thought maybe a party would help.
Sometimes a little bit of space between a party and what's happened can do a lot of good. Let us gather our thoughts, search through our emotions. But maybe in the near future, when things are not as dark.
He looks at Lupina, who just nods at him. Well, I guess I will take my leave for now. And he disappears in a puff of smoke. Lupina also tells you, I hope you don't hold this against me, Midnight, but I will have to get to work immediately.
Midnight nods. It's okay. You and Lily go on what you need. I'll look after Script. It's my fault anyway.
Lupina and Lily walk off. Lupina floating that one divine stag that is still drooling on the floor after them in her magic. And then, on the wall behind you, suddenly, very suddenly, a door appears.
Midnight frowns and looks at it, not moving.
The door opens, and a very indignant-looking angel bunny stands in the door.
Midnight looks at him. What? How did you do that?
He sighs, and pulls out a little case of gemstones that he shows to you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those. What is it?
He kind of taps his foot on the ground, pointing at the imaginary watch that he's wearing, and holds up a menu in one hand.
Dinner?
He nods.
I don't think Script's up for food right now.
His ears perk up, he drops the menu, and rushes over to Script. And inexplicably suddenly has a stethoscope and a pulsometer in his hand.
It's not that sort of illness, Angel.
He still proceeds to take his boss's vitals.
Midnight slightly chuckles at his enthusiasm.
Then he glares up at you.
Midnight frowns, but why are you glaring at me?
He throws the stethoscope and pulsometer over his shoulder, wiggles under Script, picks him up, and rushes through the door with him.
Midnight immediately chases after him.
Closing it behind him.
What? No! Midnight takes out her gem and places it wall.
Nothing happens.
What? Angel! Angel, let me back! You're laughing. Stop laughing.
I'm not laughing.
I thought I heard you chuckle. Midnight curls up in a ball and starts to cry.
And this is where we end for today, folks.
Good, because I need a pee.
Yeah, same here. So, how did you like this?
Far too emotional.
Far too emotional?
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone in the stream chat, how did you like it?
We're gonna have to wait a minute for the thing to come through.
I know. And you go pee.
Alright, I'll go.
Okay, guys, I really want to know how you liked this. And if it was too emotional, or if it was just the right level of emotional. You know, if you liked it. Also, there's another thing. Because, yes, god damn it, I'm a sellout. We are sellouts. Oh, what a roller coaster. Yep. I just have to do this. Let me just see. Ah, yes. I will post a link in the chat, and I will also put it into the description of this video, because for some reason it doesn't seem to be in there anymore. Because, for those of you who don't know, we actually have a Teespring store. So if you want to support us, be sure to check out that Teespring store.
You doing a shameless plug, are you?
Oh, shush, you would do it too.
Anyway.
So yeah. Chris says it was a roller coaster.
Oh yeah, it was.
What do you think? What did you think about the whole Lupina being injured?
Scary. Because Midnight's grown really fond of her.
What did you think when she stopped breathing?
Don't you dare kill her on me. Don't you dare. That's what was going through my head.
So you really like her?
Mm-hmm. Can I explain the reasoning? I feel like people might hate me for the reasoning.
Go ahead.
Okay. First off, Midnight was not expecting all that to happen at the end. Because she still would see them as food because they're deer. That's what she's grown up with now. She hunts deer. So that was her first instinct. But not only that, although she trusts Lupina now, after seeing and hearing what can happen over so many years of living, she doesn't know if they'll snap, if any of them will snap. Any of them could snap, and that is the only safeguard right now that is keeping them together. That is keeping them from harming anyone else. In fact, she's thinking of entering into something similar herself, because she doesn't know if she'll snap. She doesn't think she'll snap soon, but she thinks after all this, she might.
Mm-hmm.
So, in her eyes, the better option was the deer.
Mm-hmm.
Because, at least in the long term, the deer are the better option.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, she eats angel bunnies. And they're sentient, apparently. But she still eats them.
And I'm not condemning you.
I know. I'm condemning myself. And she did not know. No, seriously, no one explains these things! No one is good at explaining! Because she did not know what would happen. All she saw the first time he teleported one in was a deer appear. She wasn't expecting the entire thing to cause him to relive all that. Why did no one tell her that? That might have swayed her decision.
Because he has never done something like that before.
Well, he knows that if he teleports one, he feels all the... He relives every moment.
Not exactly.
But yeah, anyway. So, yeah. That's her reasoning. In the long term, that is better.
Mm-hmm.
Because for people who live for centuries, you need a safeguard. That's the only safeguard. And she knows Lupin is not going to sign another one.
Oh no, she would never again.
Exactly.
Even if drunk out of her mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did you think about the thing she did when she was drunk?
Very random and very you.
Very me?
As in, I knew you'd come up with something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Though I feel like you might be taking it from real life. Did you dance with clowns?
Nope.
Okay.
Never.
Alrighty. Anyway, shall we end this?
Maybe? I just want to ask the chat one final question.
Alrighty.
You guys know that Lupina's empire in the different dimension actually was the dominant species. And that, well, every empire has a flag. Which is also, incidentally, the flag of Lupina's empire in the Wild World RP world. Is there any one of you who would be interested in a shirt or mug or whatever with Lupina's logo on it? Which would be a wolf's snout biting down on a planet with the words Lupus Regnum Aeternum written in a circle around it, which means Eternal Wolf Kingdom. If anyone would be interested in that, we would get to work on something like that. Wouldn't we?
Yes, and also, can you answer Chris, please?
100% agree to Midnight, but the create powers can't turn stone to meat? Nope, they can't.
They wouldn't be
Sadly.
they wouldn't be able to make enough, basically.
Yeah, because the problem is, if you turn stone to meat, then you lose the stone. And while the entire canyon around them might be made of stone, eventually they'd just simply run out of it. And Script just basically cannibalized one of his creations, because I'm going to plug this right now. The divine stags were his creations.
That's even worse. Also, why can't Midnight get back into Thingy?
Because right now, there is a security lockdown.
Why?
Because you and Script both inexplicably disappeared.
Well, then why am I not allowed back in?
You are allowed back in once Script is able to tell Angel Bunny to lift the lockdown.
Okay.
And don't forget, the gem that you were given was given to you when you were his friend, not his girlfriend.
Oh, point.
So...
Also, is Chris right?
What?
About the scent? And
Yes.
pups?
Yes.
That's going to be an interesting thing once it hits Midnight and what she meant by that.
Well, we can't rightfully do a not safe for work stream here.
No, we can't.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Neither am I. Just saying it would be interesting. I'm not saying that I'm going to have cyber sex on YouTube.
Yeah, no.
But yeah. Script has basically cannibalized his very first creation.
Anyway. Come on. Let's end it.
Yeah, I have school tomorrow, so...
I have work tomorrow. Luckily in the evening, but even still.
Yep. Okay, every pony, I hope you enjoyed this. My name is VisualPony.
And I'm Midnight29.
And we are of Pony&Wolf Productions.
Yay, we can say that!
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you all next time. Keep watching that moon!
And stay brony.